Stefanski followed, his face flushed, composure in tatters. Players noticed instantly. The atmosphere shifted from mundane routine to crackling electricity. Something monumental had happened behind closed doors. Details seeped out gradually through trusted sources. Reportedly, Sanders delivered an ultimatum, professional in tone but ironclad in resolve. "Coach, I've earned my opportunity through performance. Either I compete on fair terms, or I request a trade. No more politics, no more games. Football only." It was a direct challenge to authority, respectful yet unwavering. The line was drawn. Stefanski's response came sharp and combative. "You don't make demands here. I decide who plays. Period." Sanders countered with precision. "Then explain why inferior performances are rewarded." Stefanski snapped back, "Because I'm the head coach. That's all the explanation you need." Sanders didn't flinch. "Then I need a new head coach." The conversation spiraled quickly. Sanders questioned Stefanski's competitive integrity. Stefanski threatened disciplinary action. Sanders welcomed it, remarking that public scrutiny would only strengthen his position. That's when Stefanski realized the trap. Punish Sanders, and he becomes a martyr, proving the persecution narrative. A stalemate was reached. Sanders closed the meeting with a dagger. "Coach, I'll remain professional. I'll prepare weekly. I'll support my teammates, but everyone knows the truth. You're sacrificing the season for your ego. The players see it. The fans know it. The media is reporting it. The only one denying reality is you." Stefanski, sounding desperate, lashed back. "You think you're special because your daddy's famous and social media adores you. This is professional football. Earn it." Sanders' reply was ice cold. "I did earn it. Wednesday, Thursday, you stole it. Today, I'm taking it back." Practice took on a warlike intensity. Sanders, despite being sidelined earlier, unleashed every throw as a statement, each completion a public reminder of his superiority. Gabriel responded with hurried throws, risky reads, and mounting mistakes. The moment came in team drills. Third and long, Gabriel's pass, late, predictable, was easily intercepted. The defense mocked the play. Next rep. Identical situation. Sanders scrambled, extended the play, delivered a pinpoint strike for a first down. The offense erupted. Stefanski abruptly ended practice with a curt, "That's enough for today." No explanation, but everyone knew. He had seen enough truth for one afternoon by the weekend. Uncertainty reached a fever pitch. Sunday brought an emergency meeting, unprecedented, called by owner Jimmy Haslam. The full ownership group, front office, and a reluctantly included coaching staff gathered for one reason: the quarterback crisis threatening to tear the franchise apart. Haslam opened without ceremony. "Gentlemen, we have a problem. National embarrassment. Local revolt. Internal dysfunction. We need solutions now." Andrew Barry delivered a clinical dissection, analytics, metrics, projections. Every measure overwhelmingly favored Sanders. The numbers obliterated any case for Gabriel. Barry's conclusion was blunt. Objectively, Sanders is the superior option. Subjectively, the players prefer him. Practically, he represents the future. Stefanski clung to intangibles: leadership, experience, system familiarity. Ownership traded skeptical glances. His argument sounded hollow, like a predetermined preference dressed in cliches. From the business side, J.W. Johnson warned of tangible fallout: sponsor concerns, season ticket renewals dropping, merchandise sales skewed entirely toward Sanders, and a relentless negative media cycle hammering the brand. Then D. Haslam spoke with rare force. "Kevin, I respect coaching authority, but authority requires wisdom. Choosing the inferior option despite all evidence suggests neither. When players lose faith, fans lose interest, and we lose money. Everyone loses." Stefanski fired back. If ownership dictates quarterback decisions, why have coaches at all? You might as well call plays from the owner's box. The gauntlet was thrown. Jimmy Haslam's reply was steady but loaded. Kevin, nobody's dictating. We're addressing the obvious. You've had all camp to evaluate, one is clearly superior, yet you choose the weaker option. Because I said so isn't an answer. The room fell into tense silence. Stefanski realized the trap. Admitting Sanders was better destroyed his position. Sticking with Gabriel defied logic. Either way, credibility crumbled. Barry tried a compromise. Extend the competition, let preseason games decide. Stefanski refused outright. Competition's over. Gabriel starts week 1. The bridge was burned. Monday brought the Berea massacre. Reporters arrived to heavy security. Players were called in early. At 9 a.m., Stefanski addressed the team. Effective immediately. Sanders is suspended for conduct detrimental to the team. A full-blown player revolt was no longer theoretical. It was in motion. The group chat swelled, pulling in former players offering solidarity and current opponents chiming in with laughing emojis. National media figures requested quotes. Agents traded messages about potential exit strategies. Chaos wasn't just spreading, it was multiplying by the minute. What began as a private conversation had morphed into a public referendum on the Browns' competence. The sponsor, revolt, no one saw coming. Tuesday morning brought pressure from an unexpected but devastating front. Corporate sponsors, major partners demanded emergency sit-downs with ownership. What had been a football fiasco was now threatening the team's financial backbone. First Energy, no stranger to controversy, voiced unease about brand association. Progressive Insurance questioned its marketing investment. Sherwin-Williams considered scaling back activations. KeyBank examined whether it should keep its partnership. Local companies quietly weighed their own exits. National sponsors echoed the alarm. Nike wanted answers before allocating more jerseys to production. Pepsi debated freezing promotions. Visa scrutinized its contract. Microsoft reevaluated its technology sponsorship. For these brands, aligning with organizational incompetence was a reputational hazard. The stakes were staggering, over $200 million in annual sponsorships on the line. A mere 10% pullback would sting. A 25% reduction would gut budgets. A full-scale withdrawal? It could fracture the team's financial foundation. Ownership meets corporate fury. Jimmy Haslam hastily convened a conference call with the biggest partners. His tone was measured, his promises familiar. This is temporary. We're committed to excellence. Your patience during the transition is appreciated. The response was ice cold. Corporate leaders had heard it all before. One CEO didn't mince words. Jimmy, we invest expecting a competent product. This circus embarrasses everyone tied to it. Fix it or we walk. Another piled on. Our employees are Browns fans. They're livid. We can't ignore that. A third delivered the ultimatum. 1 week, then we reassess everything. Even small local businesses began rebelling. Restaurant chains threatened to yank promotions. Car dealerships questioned endorsement deals. Real estate firms reconsidered stadium signage. The entire Cleveland economic ecosystem was turning on the team. Fan and media backlash. Media partners aired their own grievances. Radio affiliates reported listeners tuning out. TV networks worried about tanking ratings. Streaming platforms reconsidered NFL content expansions. Digital outlets backed away from covering a sinking ship. Season ticket renewals nosedived. New sales flatlined. Club seats and suites went unsold. PSL values dropped. Secondary market prices cratered. Merchandise told the same story. Gabriel jerseys gathered dust while Sanders's were sold out despite the suspension. Generic team gear was ignored. Vintage Browns merch outsold current product. The financial message from fans and businesses alike was unmistakable. We're done. Inside Sanders' camp, the counteroffensive. While Berea burned, Sanders stayed calculated. Sources outlined a 5-pronged strategy. Legal offensive. A high-powered attorney was retained immediately. The grievance was meticulously documented. CBA violations were flagged with surgical precision. Precedent research was exhaustive. NFLPA coordination was seamless. Media discipline. No emotional rants. No social media meltdowns. Absolute public composure. Stefanski's actions would damn themselves. The public tide would turn organically. Sanders would own the moral high ground. Relentless preparation. A private training facility was secured. An elite QB coach was hired. Trusted receivers were brought in for reps. Film study intensified. Conditioning peaked. Sanders would be ready the moment opportunity knocked. Alliance building, private outreach to teammates, strengthened bonds, and built future coalitions. Conversations extended beyond the Browns' locker room. Influence spread methodically. Exploring exits. Other franchises were already circling. Trade concepts and compensation frameworks were discussed behind the scenes. Every whisper of interest added leverage. Meanwhile, a documentary crew, already shadowing Sanders, captured it all. Cleveland's dysfunction was being immortalized on film, destined for a national audience. Brands saw opportunity in the chaos. Nike expanded Sanders' visibility. Pepsi leaned in harder. Beats featured him prominently. EA Sports tweaked his player ratings. The message from sponsors was clear. Sanders was marketing gold. His social following surged by millions. Engagement rates spiked. His personal brand outgrew the scandal globally. The coordinators break ranks. Wednesday detonated another bomb. 3 coordinators went directly to ownership. This was never performance-based. It was personal. Jealousy bled through every word. Insecurity hung in the air. Objective evaluation had been abandoned, replaced by raw emotion. Sanders, unshaken, cut to the heart of it. So this is personal. Stefanski erupted. Everything's personal! You think you're above the team? Your social media followers don't play football. Sanders' reply was scalpel sharp. Neither does Gabriel, apparently. The line landed like a knockout punch. Stefanski's face flushed crimson, fists clenched, composure gone. Get out! You're done. Suspended. Gone. Sanders rose slowly, voice calm. This conversation is being recorded. The building has cameras. Everyone will see the truth. Stefanski froze. Realization hit. The trap had been sprung. Sanders walked out with dignity, leaving the coach stunned and slumped in his chair, knowing the footage existed and doing nothing to stop its release. Whether through arrogance or forgetfulness, it was fatal. The fallout. The locker room's group chat exploded. Stefanski's finished. He can't recover from this. Performance doesn't matter. This is a vendetta. Ownership had no choice. Failure to act meant the season was over before it began. The national media shredded Stefanski mercilessly. Every sports network led with the video. Analysts competed to express outrage. Former coaches demanded his resignation. Current coaches distanced themselves. His reputation wasn't just damaged, it was obliterated. Friday reckoning? At 6 a.m., Jimmy Haslam's private jet touched down at Burke Lakefront Airport. D. Haslam and J.W. Johnson were with him. This was not a courtesy visit. It was an execution. By 7 a.m., Stefanski was summoned to headquarters. Alone. No allies. No support. Sources say he entered defeated and left diminished. The meeting lasted just 17 minutes. The verdict was final. At 7:30 a.m., Andrew Berry was informed. Relief was visible. The impossible situation was over. Authority was restored. Functionality, maybe even the season, was salvageable. By 8 a.m. Akibu, the coordinators were notified. Alex Van Pelt would serve as interim head coach. Jim Schwartz and Bubba Ventron remained in place. Stability was prioritized. Continuity preserved. Leadership reestablished. At 8:30 a.m., Saunders' suspension was lifted. A public apology was issued. His starting role was confirmed. The competition was officially over. Meritocracy restored. The reset. At 9 a.m., Haslam addressed the players directly. Gentlemen, mistakes were made. Corrections have been implemented. Distractions end today. Football begins now. The best players will play. Period. The room was silent, but the message was clear. By 9:15 a.m., the media had been informed. A press conference was set. At 10 a.m., Haslam stood at the podium. Cleveland deserves better. The players deserve better. You deserve better. We've made changes to reflect our commitment to excellence. Sanders will start week 1. Van Pelt followed with a professional statement about trust, unity, and the future. Sanders closed with poise. I'm grateful for the opportunity. I'm focused on winning. Personal agendas don't exist. Only championship goals. Cleveland deserves success, and I'll give everything I have to deliver it. The Van Pelt era begins. Saturday's first practice under new leadership carried a different energy. Hope replaced despair, and belief replaced chaos. Van Pelt opened with fire. We've wasted enough time. The season starts in 2 weeks. We're behind, but we have elite talent, an elite quarterback, and elite determination. It's championship or bust, the huddle erupted. Sanders' presence commanded instant authority. Confidence was contagious. Chemistry clicked, execution sharpened. The first full team period shocked observers. 11 plays, 0 incompletions, 2 explosive gains, flawless red zone execution, and a touchdown capped with a genuine celebration. The offense hummed. The defense responded in kind. Competition surged. Pride returned. Gabriel's adjustment. Gabriel handled his demotion professionally. He accepted the backup role, supported Sanders openly, and avoided drama. Respect grew for him, even as his future likely pointed elsewhere. Media and fan reaction. Beat reporters noted sharper execution and improved communication. National outlets called it a franchise reborn. Fans gathered outside the facility, cheering, chanting, showing visible excitement. The factory of sadness looked ready to close its doors. The secret scrimmage Sunday brought a closed-door scrimmage against the Eagles. No media, no fans, just pure evaluation. The Browns dominated from the start. First drive, 75 yards, 7 plays, touchdown. Second drive, 82 yards, 9 plays, touchdown. Third drive, field goal. A 17-3 lead by early second quarter. Sanders' performance transcended stats. Command absolute. Decisions instant. Accuracy surgical. Teammates rose to his level. Coaches were amazed. Opponents were impressed. Masterful orchestration. Surgical clock management. Strategic brilliance on full display. A touchdown sealed it. Victory secured. Statement delivered. All doubts erased. The scoreboard read, Browns 41, Eagles 24. Technically a scrimmage. In reality, a declaration. Potential realized. Capability confirmed. Questions answered. Excellence proven. The future looked incandescent and the present burned bright. Eagles coaches sought out Van Pelt afterward. Their words candid. The kids special. Legitimate threat. Division problem. Cleveland's danger level was no longer speculation, it was official. Respect was granted, fear was admitted, recognition achieved. Players celebrated appropriately. This wasn't a championship, just a tune-up, but it was validation, confirmation, vindication. Dysfunction was dead. Excellence lived again. Cleveland was competing. The final week before destiny. From Monday to Friday, the days blurred. Installation, repetition, refinement. Perfection was the target. Excellence, the expectation. Championship preparation was in full swing. Sanders' week was remarkable. Obsessive film study, precision practices, natural leadership. Teammates following instinctively, coaches trusting completely. The system clicked. Timing was razor sharp. Chemistry blossomed. Confidence soared. The national media took notice. Networks covered it daily. Analysts debated playoff odds. Expectations rose and pressure mounted. By Wednesday, the depth chart was official. Sanders as permanent QB1. Gabriel, professional and drama-free, embraced QB2. Thursday's practice was the best yet. Flawless execution, unmatched energy, laser focus, visible determination. The goal was clear, the path laid out, the journey begun. Friday's walkthrough carried the mentality of a business trip. Preparation was complete. Van Pelt's closing words lit the room. Gentlemen, an amazing week. Perfect execution, relentless energy. Now, prove it Sunday, silence the doubters, reward the believers, make history, create a legacy, build a dynasty. The room erupted. The team was ready. Game day. The moment of truth. Sunday, September 10th, Cleveland woke up different. Hope replaced resignation. Anticipation replaced dread. Possibility felt tangible. Pre-game warm-ups told the story. Sanders radiated confidence. His aura was undeniable. Teammates fed off it. The crowd sensed it. Momentum swelled. Cincinnati arrived as division favorites, playoff veterans, championship contenders. The Browns were viewed as dysfunctional pushovers. An easy win for the Bengals, at least on paper. The coin toss fell Cleveland's way. They received. Sanders jogged out. The stadium erupted. First play from scrimmage. Play action bomb. Receiver open. Perfect strike. Touchdown. 75 yards. One play. Statement made. The crowd roared like a city reborn. Van Pelt smiled. Haslam stood. Cleveland believed. A battle for the ages. The Bengals responded. The game turned into a heavyweight slugfest. Halftime, Browns 24, Bengals 21. Sanders had 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and command over every snap. In the second half, defenses tightened, offenses countered, momentum swung violently. With 8 minutes left, Cleveland clung to a 38-35 lead. These were championship moments, legacies forged under fire. Sanders orchestrated a masterclass drive. The clock melted. Chains moved. Points followed. Lead extended to 45-35. With just over 3 minutes left, the city could taste victory. But football is chaos. Cincinnati struck quickly. Onside kick. Recovered. Another touchdown. Suddenly, 45-42. The Bengals had the ball, season-defining pressure on Cleveland's defense. 4th down. Coverage tight. Pass incomplete. Ball game. The Coronation Final, Browns 45, Bengals 42. Stat line 34-40. 418 yards, 5 touchdowns. A masterpiece. Doubters silenced. Believers rewarded. A dynasty's first spark lit. The post-game podium was a coronation. Sanders credited teammates, praised coaches, thanked the city. Class, maturity, leadership confirmed. Van Pelt, emotional, called Sanders a special player, a special person, for a special moment. Haslam admitted his mistakes. Football decisions belong to football people. Lesson learned. The national reaction was unanimous. Cleveland was relevant again. The division had shifted. The Browns were dangerous. And their quarterback was special. The aftershocks. Gabriel requested a trade Monday, granted immediately. Stefanski landed a coordinator job elsewhere. Reputation tarnished. Ticket demand exploded. Merch sold out. Sponsors returned. The city's chemistry was perfect. trust absolute, goals aligned, standards elevated. The Browns' culture was transformed. Excellence was now the default. Cleveland's fans responded magnificently. Songs were written, murals painted, legends born, but everyone knew the season had only just begun. The journey would be long. Challenges remained. Yet one truth was inescapable. They had found their quarterback.